about to be 30. This is crazy. Hold on, let me light a candle because we gotta set the tone. I got this candle right here from Big Lots. It's a like Halloween candle. Can you see it? It's got the little spider on it. And its scent is called Mystic Woods. And I love how this candle smells. It's almost, if October, like spooky season, was a candle, this would be it. Okay, this is definitely that scent. So we're gonna just go ahead and light this candle and get into it, because at the end of the day, I just feel like there is so much to take away from my 20s, and I want to share it with you guys, whether you're in your 20s or not. These are just things that I feel like every girl should be applying, because the 20s took me up through there. Do you hear me? Now, mind you, I had a lot of success in my 20s, but the 20s was extremely stressful, and most of it was self-inflicted. So I feel like these are things that I wish I would have known in my 20s or accepted in my 20s. So we're gonna just go ahead and get straight into the video. The first topic that I want to discuss is the rat race, okay? I spent my entire 20s trying to hustle and get ahead. And I'm not saying don't be on your Zoom. I'm not saying don't grind, don't be, goal driven, goal oriented. I'm not saying that. But this idea that like you have to have it all figured out by 30, you're not gonna have it all figured out by 30. Just go ahead and erase that whole thought. Like, get it out your mind. It's not gonna happen. Even if there's things in your life that are just amazing, I promise you, more than likely, you're not going to have it all figured out by 30. And you're probably not gonna have it all figured out by 40 or 50 either. So just go ahead and erase that, because in life, there's gonna be something that is always going to challenge you. So this whole like, oh my God, I gotta have a house, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. You might have that, but there's gonna be something you don't have. So just go ahead and get rid of perfection. Perfection really, really stressed me out in my 20s. Let it go. Number 2, you're more than likely going to have a complete identity shift or an identity crisis or an identity change in your mid-late 20s or like early 30s, where you're going to just not identify with anything that you identified as part of yourself. You see what I'm saying? So don't get too caught up on all of the beliefs that you have and the ideas that you have, because they're great now, but I guarantee you, you're gonna have this like light switch just like turn on your head, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Like things that you were putting up with, not having boundaries, not knowing how to say no to people, just being a people pleaser, all of that just goes away. You get to a point, I feel like 30 is when you really start to be like, I'm putting myself first, for real, for real. And that can go with family, friends, jobs, everything, career change happening at 30. That's when it's happening. You literally just like, I worked so hard to get here, and now I don't give up at all. For real. So just, that's another thing. Like, don't take yourself so seriously, because more than likely, you're going to switch it up. So just do the best you can and enjoy the ride, but like, don't be so hard on yourself. Enjoy your 20s. It's no pressure to be anywhere. There's no pressure to have kids. There's no pressure to have a partner. There's no pressure to be married. There's no pressure to have, like I said, a house. You really have to erase that mindset, because I promise you, more than likely, you're going to wake up one day and realize that a lot of things that you told yourself about yourself are no longer true. Number 3, I wish I had more confidence. I wish that I knew who I was and truly believed in my capabilities and abilities to be who I am when I was in my 20s. I pretended to have confidence, but I didn't really have confidence. I didn't really love myself the way I tried to show that I loved myself outwardly, but inwardly I was beating myself up so much all the time. And I look back and be like, Ash, you were doing a good job. You were doing a good job. I didn't feel like that at the time, because it was just, like I said, back to that rat race. Oh my God, I'm not doing enough. I'm not here. I'm not there. And you know what? I was doing a good job. I really was. So yeah, that's number 3. That leads me to number 4. Stop comparing yourself. In your 20s, stop it. Stop comparing yourself to the girl on Instagram that look like she just ain't got no problems, and she be in the gym killing it, and you not, and she got a happy relationship, and she got a bag, and she getting flued out, and you not. Stop it. Because this is my theory. Okay, so I feel like when we are younger, everybody pretty much has the same path, right? Like, we all go to kindergarten, we all go to first grade, and then when we get to like high school, that's when it starts to drift off a little bit. But it's really after graduation that you start to realize everybody's taking their own path. Some people go to college, some people don't. Some people get married early, some people have kids, some people like go to the military, and it's just, that's when you realize like, oh, we're not all on the same like timeline. You feel me? So in the 20s, you're gonna see people show things, their highlights, and you're gonna feel like, why don't I have that yet? But you don't do that, because listen, you have so much life to live, and in the 20s is not the decade that most people are going to have everything that they want. Okay, so let go of this whole like, how can I like cheat the code? How can I just get there quicker? You're wasting your time. You gotta put in some solid work and have a good foundation, because the 20s is not, it's a lot of like scammy energy in the 20s. Everybody flexing and don't have nothing. Don't fall for that. Even people who be flexing like they just have this perfect life, and it could be whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna limit it to just 1 or 2 things. You know what you be looking at, and you be, oh, I'm envious of that. No, don't do it, because I'm telling you, it ain't what you think. Just so y'all can know a little bit about me, I have 3 kids, and I love my children so much. But I feel like for the longest, I just felt like I was missing out so much, because I didn't have the lifestyle that a lot of girls in their 20s had, because they were child free. I had my first son when I was 21, 5 days before my 22nd birthday. And then when I finally started to feel like I was getting myself back together, I met somebody at 25, and I moved really quickly with them, and I got pregnant with twins. And 2 for 1 special. And you gotta keep in mind now, like, I've lost the baby weight, I done got back small, I'm feeling myself, and I done found somebody and moved quick and went from 1 to 3. Now I'm 29. Like I said, I'm about to be 30 in a few months, and I'm a single mom. And for the longest, I really had a hard time accepting that, especially because having 2 fathers to my children, you know, the whole 2 baby daddies thing, frowned upon. Not having a ring on my finger, frowned upon. You know, not really having everything that I want yet, frowned upon. Yeah, but I got to a point where I really don't care anymore, and it's because I realized, like, bro, things happen, and at the time that you made the decisions you made in your life, you did the best you thought you were doing for yourself at the time. You did the best you could. So I say that to say, yeah, it was really rough, like seeing people doing stuff and being like, dang, I'm at home being a mom non-stop, like, man. Totally different. Like, even now when I meet women who don't have kids in their 20s, there's a totally different like mental that they have, to the point where I feel like I'm in a different reality. Like, I'm talking to somebody who, you know, doesn't resonate with my life at all, and that's okay, because I love that for them. I think that is amazing. But on the other end of that, I had to really find peace with the fact that in this season I might not be doing what they're doing, and that's one thing I wish I knew in my 20s, to embrace the season that you're in, because all of this, well, I wish I was doing that. You gonna get your chance. I promise you, it's coming. But whatever season you in, don't miss it because you looking over here and looking over here. Focus on yourself. I think we on 5. We might be on 6. But the next one is dating. Dating and relationships. I wish, especially early teens, I wish I could just snatch. Ooh, just broke my necklace. I wish I could just snatch myself up. Literally, I wish I could snatch this up, okay? And say, girl, you need to relax, because all of that trying to people please and make somebody happy and changing your identity and all of that for somebody, no. Don't do it. If you have an opportunity to do something you love and you're in a relationship and you're young and they say, I don't want you to do it, then you need to go ahead and go by yourself. There is nothing, I promise you, do not put yourself second to nobody. No man, no partner, no nothing. I wish I was more selfish in my 20s. I wish I had the courage to say no. I was such a people pleaser in my 20s. I was such a pick me in my 20s. I was such a let me prove my worth in my 20s. No. Listen, I'm telling you, you know what it is? The emotions that you have when you young, it'll have you thinking of like left. It'll have you thinking left. You gotta really jump up out of that fantasy world and get real. No person is worth your life. No person is worth your life. If you have a plan or a goal for yourself and you meet somebody, do not deter that goal. Do not change the route. Don't change the path for them. It's somebody watching this, and I know, I see you. Listen, I'm telling you, please, for me, please make that decision that you need to make for yourself. And if he can't or she can't, be cool with it, then shoot, bye. And I don't know who need to hear this, but you need to wrap it up too. Yeah. You need to wrap it up. And it ain't even just because of the babies. It's so much stuff going on around here. You need to wrap it up. Protect yourself. That's another thing. Protect yourself. Number 6, we're just gonna say this is number 6. Number 6, health. Get on it. Go to the gym. Take your butt to the gym. Listen, I have been fat my whole life. Ever since I was 5, I've been fat. I was so athletic growing up. I played sports. I was out there doing my thing, but I was still fat. And I ate. It was so hard for me because there were moments in my life where I saw the weight go down, and then I would gain it back. Getting into college, lost some weight, gained it back. Like I said, started to really get to my goal. When I met the guy that I got pregnant with, had the twins with. Gained it back. Becoming a mama 3. What gym? Who? What? Stress? I'm not doing that. Put your body first. Your health, your wealth, your mind, your mental. Do not sleep on it. There is so much wealth in health. Do not wait to start your health journey. Get serious about yourself. I'll just say like a few things that you can really do to change your health is cut sugar. Stop eating all that sugar. Stop drinking all that alcohol or whatever, you do. Slow down on it at least. Make sure you are getting some physical activity. You need to be stretching, walking, something. I kind of touched base on this, and I'm losing count, so I'm gonna just put the number up there. I kind of touched base on this earlier, but it's okay to switch your career. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, I don't want to do that anymore. And I think that this was probably one of the biggest things that I struggled with in my 20s, was finally having the courage and to accept and say, like, I don't want to do this anymore, because I worked so hard to have a certain career path. And for me, y'all got me being vulnerable on this app, but I was running a cookie business and it was successful, and I got tired of doing it. And then the economy just kept getting worse and it burned me out even more. And I was also really, really tired of baking. And I felt so guilty for saying I don't want to do this anymore. And I think since 2022, I've been like really struggling with like, what does that look like for me moving forward? But recently, in like the last 2 months, I'm just like, screw it. I don't want to do this no more. Now, mind you, when I say I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to do it on the capacity that I was doing it. Do I mind baking? No. But like, is that what I want to like pour all my time and energy into now? No. And people, thought I was crazy. Like, you're going to give all of that up? You're going to give all of this success up with this? And I had to realize nobody's going to really understand my journey. So I just got to do what's best for me. Hold on one second. It's okay. Just hold your pee. Let your sister go. And then you can go. Hold your pee. Appreciate you. My kids came here. Another thing is let go of those dead weight friendships. Let them go. Let them go. You gotta stop trying to hold on to people. I spent way too much time trying to hold on to people. It wasn't even they were bad people. It was just we were not aligned. But I think it was that loyalty to the time that we've had for so long. Like, when you have childhood friends, even though you guys have grown apart probably a long time ago, you continue to try to stay in their life the best you can. And it can be really draining when in like deep down that like this is not working intuitively, like this is just not it. And that's another thing, intuition. You gotta trust your intuition. You cannot afford to wait on somebody to validate you, because people really out here getting caught up trying to wait on somebody to tell them to go. And you got to have that trust with your gut instinct and your spiritual side to be like, hey, this is not aligned with me and I need to move around. So don't keep holding on to those friends that don't serve you, because it's really taxing for both of y'all. And it's sad. I feel like breaking up with your friends really hurt more than breaking up with your man, because it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, this really ended, especially when it's that silent breakup where nobody really said nothing. It just kind of ends. And like, you try to like, and it just doesn't work. That hurts. It hurts a lot, but you gotta let it go. And travel, y'all. Please travel. That's the last one. The last one is travel. Please travel. I know, the funds don't always be funding, but find a way to travel as much as you can. This concept that, you gotta wait till you're older and you're more financially stable. Yeah, I'm not saying don't pay your bills. I'm not saying be irresponsible with your finances, but find a way to save up money and get outside, explore the world, get out of your bubble, meet people that don't look like you, take those solo trips. Don't get me started on why you need to take a solo trip, but take that solo trip and get outside, because you really are going to expand your mind and your whole like universe. Your whole reality is going to shift once you start traveling. You're going to realize that knucklehead little boy back home that's stressing you out is nothing once you start traveling. You're going to realize that little job that won't give you a raise is nothing once you start traveling. You're going to realize that those viewpoints that you're stuck around, that you don't really agree with, are nothing once you start traveling. You got to get outside. So with all of that being said, my best advice to anyone in their 20s or 30s or 40s, specifically the 20s, be you. Be you and lock in with you. Really lock in with yourself and do that work that's going to lay that foundation. But don't set this timeline that like I'm a failure if I don't have it by this certain time. Don't let yourself go for anybody. Don't settle for anything or anyone, and just really be authentically you. No matter how different or unique you feel, there is a tribe out there for you, and you might not know them yet, but it's okay to feel like I don't fit with this group, or I'm not sure what I want to do, or why do these people have this? Why do I don't have that? It's okay. That quarter life crisis, I had it. I know that feeling is scary, but in the 20s, if I could just go back, I would just have the audacity and have the courage and have the strength to just really be me and not be so focused on what other people thought or what other people perceive me to be, and trying to live up to that, because that was something that I had been struggling with since childhood. And it was really just like the 20s felt like I spent my entire 20s trying to unlearn everything that I learned growing up. Not saying that I didn't learn the great things, because I did, but just the negative things. I really was trying to peel back those layers, and I still am. But I just know that in my 30s, I'm walking in so much more confident. And even though I am a little anxious and a little scared about turning 30, because it's like, oh my gosh, did I do everything I wanted to do in my 20s? I'm like, hey, I can't worry about that now. It's done, okay? We got less than 90 days before the big 3-0 drops. And I know that going into my 30s, I really want to start using my voice more and talking to people, specifically women, young women, and letting them know how to avoid so many things that if I just had someone who would have been talking to me and letting me know, I really could have been locked in. I really could. So if you're watching this video and it helps you in any way, or if it resonated with you in any way, please drop a comment below. I'm a small channel, so any like or subscribe or engagement with this video helps me so much. But I am just so thankful to be on YouTube now. I have been a content creator since I was 12. I have grown my other channels on other platforms, but this feels home to me. Like, YouTube just feels like, okay, I really feel like I'm talking and being my true self. I'm not trying to follow a trend or anything like that. And I'm just so happy to be here talking to y'all and just making those real connections. So if you're watching this video and any of this resonated with you, please leave a comment, and I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. Bye.